everyone, and welcome to another speed build. So today I am building a Boho Victorian home, which basically means that the outside of the home is like your traditional Victorian style, or at least what I could do in The Sims 4, because this is my first time ever building one, so it was definitely a learning experience. But basically, the outside is a Victorian, and then the interior decorating style and furnishings are more bohemian. This house is, I think, 135-ish simoleons. At least that's what it was when I looked. I don't know if they account for like lot pricing, but this house is on the lot in Willow Creek, right across from the Goth's house in that little neighborhood of Victorian homes. So that is where I put it, and I don't know if that is taken into effect. But the house is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, dining, kitchen, living room. There's like a little office nook. And then in the basement there is a game room and bar area. And there is not a bathroom on the first floor because I already did the floor plan by the time I realized that there wasn't one, and I didn't really want to add one. And honestly, these Victorian homes aren't really built for convenience. A lot of them are kind of weirdly shaped, like the rooms are kind of weird and kind of small. At least the ones that I've been in and the ones that I've seen are like that. So that's kind of, I was just like, well, it doesn't really matter if the bathroom is not downstairs, we'll just put one upstairs. So there is one like main bathroom upstairs, as well as a master ensuite. There is also not one in the basement, but the basement's pretty big, so you could add one down there if you wanted to. Same goes for the bedrooms. The bedrooms are very large, so with some, renovation, you could definitely have more than 2 rooms up there if you wanted smaller rooms, or because the rooms are big, you could definitely fit like a few siblings in the kids' room, or maybe 3 roommates. I don't know. Basically, there is definitely room for change if you want to change it. I use those, I don't know what they're called, but like the things that go between the columns. I used those fancy ones because I thought that the style really suited Victorian style homes, because they're kind of, cupcakey and frilly and a little over the top, at least the ones that I saw. And I basically took inspiration from a bunch of pictures and made my own version. I wanted to do some shingles on them, but I could not find shingles in the base game, so I ended up doing this kind of light pastel yellow, what do you call that, like clapboard, and then I put some stone accents on the tower, on the little thing that sticks out of the roof at the top, and then on the little balcony off to the side. I'm not even sure if they can use that balcony, but I saw Victorian homes had a lot of balconies in them, so I added it because why not? Even if they can't use it, it still adds a little something, right? I think, maybe. I don't know. This was my first go at a Victorian home, like I said, so if it's not 100% true to style, I apologize. I really tried my best to make the outside look very traditional, and then my thought process was that the people who bought it had started like the renovation process. So some of the rooms, like the kitchen and the upstairs bathroom, are a little more traditional, true to the Victorian style, but then the other rooms, as you can see, they're kind of more updated and more, I wouldn't necessarily say modern, but they're just a little more modern in the sense that they are more close to like today's style. And I did use the columns and some of that, what is it, like bunting stuff? I don't know. That stuff. I used it to make a little archway into the kitchen, something a little different. I thought that it was kind of cool. But it is definitely like a mixed kind of style because of that, because I kind of went with some rooms renovated, some rooms not renovated. I personally really like the way it came out because I didn't want to do the whole house in the Victorian style because it kind of looks dated and kind of dowdy really quickly when you start putting like the wallpapers and the furnishings and stuff in there that are older. It's just, you know, it's not modern enough to picture like a young couple with their child living there, and I wanted this to be a family home, so I definitely updated the furnishings and things of that nature. And like I said, I was pretty happy with the way it turned out. I, I don't know, I would like to build some more of these. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, because it was definitely different. It was fun. I mean, it was almost like building a modern home in the sense that you could do like these crazy shapes with it, because a lot of Victorian homes, I don't know, they kind of look like there was not a lot of planning in them. Like there's things like jutting out from every direction, and like balconies and upper floors, and there's like all these stories, and it's just really cool. So I could kind of just do whatever I wanted, and it didn't matter if it was symmetrical, because most Victorian homes didn't look symmetrical, at least from what I saw. So it was a lot of fun to do. I'd definitely like to do some more of these. They are a lot of fun, and I think it would be cool to do one kind of like the Goth Manor, if it's all like Addams Family like. That'd be fun. I also utilized the roof decorations, as you could see there, and there is a chimney up there, but there's no fireplace. And my thought was that maybe the chimney connected into the dining room, and when they renovated, they just ripped out the fireplace. So that's why there's a chimney there, and there's no fireplace. It's more of a decorative chimney. And I did put around some vines on the tower and some flower pot planter things on the windows, just to kind of give it a little whimsy, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I don't know, guys. It's very, very early for me, and I'm very sleepy still, so I don't know how much sense I'm actually making. Actually, I'm going to take a drink of water just a second. Sorry if you could hear me drinking. I'm very thirsty too. I'm always really thirsty when I wake up. It's weird. I don't know. What could we talk about? I guess we could talk about the landscaping that I'm doing. I did a color palette of, I think, mostly purple, white, and yellow. Oh, and some pink. I tried to stick with colors that really complemented the yellow exterior of the house. And if you see me pausing a lot, that is because I'm watching a crime murder documentary type show. I don't remember which one. Which one was I watching? I think I was watching Forensic Files, actually. It's a pretty good show. I just started watching it. If you, I mean, a lot of you might know that I'm going to college for psychology, and one of the fields I'm actually looking at is forensic psychology, so that's dealing with like murderers. That's like the high end of it, or, you know, dealing with the court systems, assisting with cases, and, you know, things of that nature, like profiling criminals and all that fun stuff. And that's one of the options I'm looking at. I'm not 100% decided if it's something I want to do. It's just, I'm basically, right now, I'm just trying to get my psych degree. I'm not actually at the point, like, in to my PhD where I'm like trying to decide like what my field is going to be. I'm just getting my basic psych degree, so I've got some time to figure it out. And that's one of the areas I'm looking at. And it sounds really weird, but like I'm obsessed with like serial killers, and that sounds so bad when I tell people I'm like, I like murderers. They're like, okay, you need some help. But I don't like murderers in the sense that I like look up to them or idolize them or by any means condone what they do. Like, you should not murder people. It's wrong. I'm just fascinated by like what in a person's mind would make them kill someone, you know? Because if someone, a normal person, wouldn't just go kill people, you would have to be like a sociopath or, you know, push to an extreme. Obviously, a normal person can murder someone if they're pushed to an extreme. But overall, if you're like a serial killer like Jeffrey Dahmer or something, there's something inherently wrong with your brain that's got to be different from someone else's brain. And that is the core of what fascinates me about murderers. This whole conversation sounds absolutely wrong. And I'm not even talking about the build. But anyways, now I feel like I have to defend myself. So yeah, and I've been obsessed with like forensics and stuff since I was probably like 8 years old, and I started watching CSI on TV, which is crime scene investigators, and I wanted to actually be a forensic scientist. By the time I was like 8 years old, that's what I wanted to do. But funny story, when I got to middle school, like most people, I had to dissect a frog, which I was so excited for because again, I'm the weird kid that likes dead things. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. Okay, well, they treat those frogs with formaldehyde. And the smell of formaldehyde makes me absolutely sick to my stomach. It makes me so nauseous to the point where now I can smell it like a hound dog. Like if there's a drop of formaldehyde somewhere, I can smell it. Like I can point it out to you. It makes me so sick. And I actually got physically ill one day in class. And I knew from that point on, I was like, I cannot work with dead bodies because if I did, I would have to deal with the smell of formaldehyde all the time, and there's no way that I could have put up with it. So long story short, I turned my love of forensics instead from the actual physical, like, dead body portion of it to the inner workings of the person who kills people portion of it, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, and this has nothing to do with the build, but I don't know. I felt after I said I liked serial killers that I had to defend myself a little bit so that you guys don't think I'm absolutely nuts. But anyways, as you can see, I'm switching days because I did build this house over 2 days. We just finished off the living room portion. Now I did the little study nook and I'm putting some lighting and paintings around. I did do that dark herringbone like wood floor because a lot of Victorian homes seem to have that type of flooring. So I put the lighter peach walls with the white baseboard to kind of counterbalance the dark floor. And in this dining room, I thought that this was one of the more updated rooms. So I put in a more kind of airy light floor and some creamy pastel-y kind of walls. And I did very colorful just colorful prints and colorful chairs and colorful lights in here. Obviously, the little lanterns above the table were my inspiration for the colors. I went with a green and orange look, which is cool because I've never really done that combination before, so I liked it a lot. And I did put in some more modern paintings and a nice big plant in here because obviously boho modern renovation, and this was one of my favorite things I did. I actually sized up one of those little flower floor mats and put it under the dining room table, and I really like the way it looks. I think it's cute, so I left it in there, and I don't know, I was really happy with the dining room. It's simple, but it goes with what I wanted it to be, if that makes sense. Now, the kitchen, on the other hand, is one of the rooms that they haven't really updated yet. Obviously, it's been updated since Victorian times because there is a fridge and a kitchen and all that. But I tried to keep it, like, the appliances were upgraded, but the actual, like, flooring and walls and stuff were not. So I tried to find tiles and things that were pretty true to the Victorian era, which I actually think I was pretty successful with. I was really happy. Those tiles look like something that you would find in an old home to me. So I used them. The kitchen is very beige. I do. No. I do use a couple of pops of color here and there with some plants, but overall it's very beige. Almost a little boring, but I liked that look because it feels like it needs to be renovated still, and that's what I was going for. Oh, and I know that it says on my schedule that Life After the Bachelorette is supposed to come out today, and next week it will be coming out on Friday, but today instead I'm just going to give you this speed build because Life After the Bachelorette requires a lot of playing off camera, and that's because we're speeding through their lives, obviously, and I only think I'm going to do 2, maybe 3, but I'm looking at probably 2 more parts of that, and then I'm going to be finished with it. And because I started back at school, I've been really busy, and so I haven't had the time to play a lot off camera like I wanted to. All of my time's kind of been devoted to filming, editing, and then obviously schoolwork, homework. And so I haven't had a lot of time to play off camera. That is what I need to do for The Bachelorette, or Life After the Bachelorette. So I do need some extra time with that, so I apologize, but next week there will definitely be a part up of that, because I'm almost to where I want to be, but not quite. So gotta wait a little bit on that, and I apologize, but it will be out next week. So I figured until then I could give you guys a little speed build. It's actually a pretty decent speed build. It took me some time to do this, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, if you had time to do that, then you had time to do The Bachelorette. Except no, because it requires a lot of playing off camera, and the time that it would have taken me to play off camera, basically I couldn't have filmed it, if that makes sense. So this I was able to film because I started filming right away. But if I had done The Bachelorette, then I would have had to play off camera, and then I wouldn't have had anything to film. So you guys wouldn't have had anything up today. And I didn't want to do that to you, because I'm trying to be good and stick to my schedule. So even though it's not the exact scheduled day, you guys, I hope, will understand. And the bedroom ends up totally being different from what I'm doing here. As you can see, I deleted it. I was not happy with the way it was turning out. This bedroom was actually the hardest room for me to furnish. Like, I had such a difficult time with it for some reason. I don't know if it's because there's so many windows, or if I'm just tired of the beds that we have, or what it was, but I just was not happy. Even the final product, it was not exactly what I wanted it to be, but this is closer to what the final product is. I do these little curtains draped over the bed because, I don't know, I just thought that it added that kind of whimsical bohemian touch, almost like a 4-poster bed would, but I didn't feel like, I know you can make 4-poster beds with those curtains and like columns or whatever, but I just didn't feel like doing it. And honestly, I don't know if those will stay when you download them from the gallery. I'm not sure if they stay, so I didn't want to do that. Instead, I just used a drape on the windows and around the bed, so it looked pretty cool. And then I do a little like sitting area, I guess, or a reading nook. I do change those chairs because I again was not happy with them. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling this room. I ended up going with these more traditional chairs in like kind of a funky color. I don't know, I thought maybe the furnishing in this room could look maybe secondhand or kind of vintage. Like maybe this person, even though they are bohemian, like aesthetically, they definitely appreciate the Victorian style, obviously, because they bought this home. So they might try to find furnishings that are a little true to that style while still mixing in their style to it. So that's why I put in that rug. And I also put in this little wardrobe that, oh, what pack did that come with? I don't even remember, but it came with the stuff, the Bohemian pack. I think it was the movie stuff, wasn't it? I don't know. This is by far my favorite room in the house, though. It is a kid's room, and I honestly think you could put a boy or a girl child in here, or if you take out the toys, you could even make it a teen room. But there is, it kind of depends on how you feel about, you know, color as far as the gender goes, because there are a lot of like pinks and purples in here, and I know some people really don't like that for their boy Sims, and that's fine, you know, to each their own. But I personally would put a boy Sim in here. I don't care. Boys can like pink too. Actually, my little brother's favorite color is pink, so it just depends on the sim. But there are like butterflies and flowers, and it might be a little too girly for some, so I understand. Oh, and I had a lot of fun with these rugs. I actually layered them up, and as you can see there, I made it look like the frog was jumping on the flower. And I thought that that was kind of cute. I don't know, I just really love this room. It's so bright and happy and just fun. I use a lot of the new kid stuff because I haven't really got to do a build with the kid stuff or the backyard stuff, so that's why I wanted to incorporate them into this build here. I did use the kid stuff in the Life After the Bachelorette, but I didn't get to like do a build of it, if you know what I mean, like on camera. So yeah, I don't know, I really like this room. It's very happy. And then the backyard I did pretty simply. I just kind of fenced it off with some hedges, put a little monkey bars, and I tried to use the water slide, but it's really, really big. It's really big. Like, it did not fit in the yard. You'll see in a second. And I used that little, like, alcove thing. I don't know. You know what I mean. I used that little thing to kind of sit in the corner, so maybe the parent Sims could watch their kids play. And see, it takes up the whole yard. I was like, no, that's not going to work. And I put in the little bird feeder. I do switch out the house for the feeder here in a second. There we go. And I put some wind chimes in and the little drink tray. And I don't know, I think the backyard's cute for a little family. It's definitely not huge with a pool. I don't put a lot of pools in my builds, to be honest, now that I think about it. Now this room I thought would kind of be one particular Sims room, like maybe one Sim in the couple is the one who decorated the rest of the house, and then the other Sim in the couple got this room to decorate, and they're more sporty, so they did like a full-blown like sports bar kind of vibe, complete with jerseys and darts and all of that fun stuff. I wish we had a pool table, but we don't. So yeah, and I thought maybe that corkboard or blackboard could be like where they keep score of their games. But yeah, this is the completed look. It is on the gallery for download. It is called Boho Victorian, just like the title. You can find it by searching that, or you can search my username, which is ToriSimz1, capital T, capital S, Z at the end with the number 1 after it. It's always written in the description down below. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, like if you can't figure out, because it's kind of confusing. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my early morning ramblings, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.
That doesn't even rhyme.
Yeah, it does.
Bring it back on the mic. Gotta vote. Everybody up.
Would you sign off?
Turn the mic up on the mic. Gotta vote.
Let me in.
Never rust a weird. Bring it back on the mic. Gotta vote. Everybody up.
Would you sign off?
Turn the mic up on the mic. Gotta vote.
Let me in.
Never rust a weird. Bring it